Hi Libra, I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. I'm looking at the Knight of Cups and the Magician. It seems like you may be... I'm here conjuring up a statement with the Magician. The Magician represents Mercury. It seems like you may be thinking about what you want to say to somebody, or maybe even how you want to formulate a message. Remember, energies can always be reversed. Someone can be thinking about what they want to say to you. It seems like something you want to be very deliberate about, like choosing your words wisely when it comes to this. Maybe you're also understanding what you have control over and what's out of your hands. It feels like you're figuring out where you can take control of situations, where you can actively make an impression, I'm hearing. And then also, like, what's beyond your control? Where do you need to surrender? Where do you just have to allow things to happen in the way that they will? It seems, too, like there's a notion of being on the fence, or like maybe even going back and forth with something. You could be weighing your options even. It feels like this has to do with the hand that you've been dealt and maybe how you're going to go about responding to that. I'm looking at the Wheel of Fortune and the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like this is about what you want to create out of a situation that feels unavoidable at a point. And maybe you're recognizing too that there's something that you don't have control over when it comes to the way that somebody's acting even, and it's something that you kind of just have to let be what it is. Because there's a sense of maybe even dealing with someone that wasn't upfront, wasn't honest with you. I'm looking at the Magician and the Seven of Swords. Like, this is someone that may be deceptive, like someone who's fooling themselves, and so they're also not going to like be straight with you when it comes to a conversation, but you also recognize that you can't really do much about this. So there's a sense of like having to find peace within a situation that may be like a tricky situation to maneuver within. This can even be a part of yourself that you're recognizing, that maybe when you find yourself in certain situations, sometimes it may be easier to not like give all of the information that you know you should be giving and things like that. And so you're also becoming more aware maybe of how you how you choose to formulate how you're speaking to those around you as well. And being very deliberate with that. Because it may even be something more subconscious that you're addressing right now when it comes to your communication. Yeah, there's something that you have to wait out here. Feels like you're getting better at doing this dance too when it comes to weighing in on a situation is what I'm hearing. Understanding too that sometimes you're at a place where it's like you have to think about things before you make a decision, and getting comfortable with being in that place where you can't take action yet. Because you have to think about something. Yeah, I'm looking at the King of Swords here. So this very much is about communication. I'm kind of seeing it be like somebody may be trying to reach out to you, but you may have already left the conversation. But you can be thinking too about, it's almost like this. You could have been in a situation and you're like, you know what, I need some space from this, and you may have taken a step back, and now you're like, when I enter back into that space, how am I going to confront this energy? Because I'm seeing that the King of Swords is going to help you, and this means like you calling something out, you naming something, you addressing something. You being true to yourself when it comes to something that you're going to be saying too. And it really may be calling somebody out. It's like if you were having a conversation with someone and you feel like they weren't being upfront with you and you sense this is maybe even addressing that. It may be slightly uncomfortable to do this. This may be a group of people even. Like this can be somebody that you're friends with, or a friend group, or family members. People that you're reconnecting with even. Yeah, I'm seeing you almost be reintroduced to an environment, and you may be seeing things differently than you had before. It's like some type of energy that you may have had a harder time dealing with in the past. There's a sense of having more awareness and understanding now, maybe even for a certain type of energy or personality, whatever it is you want to dub this as. There's a sense of being better at dealing with situations that feel unpleasant or uncomfortable, or even energies that you feel uneasy around. And because you're releasing control in a way where you're like, you know what, if this person is going to do that, then that's what they're going to do, and I just have to accept that. There's a sense of getting to a place where you're growing in terms of you feeling more stable. I really do feel like this is energetically more than anything. And it kind of feels like the way that you're maneuvering within your relationships, and maybe the more difficult relationships that you experience. I'm looking at Mercury and Jupiter here. Feels like intellectual expansion with Mercury next to Jupiter here, because Jupiter is the symbol of growth and expansion, and Mercury is about intellect and how we're processing information, and then how we're going about communicating. Especially how we process things emotionally, like with seeing both the cups here, which represents our emotions, and then the swords here, it's about like how you're intaking information energetically and intuitively and emotionally, and then how you're processing that intellectually and how we get them to dance together. Now I'm looking at the King of Pentacles. This can represent something going on for you work-wise. And maybe how you feel you want to choose to express yourself. There's a sense of taking on more of an optimistic point of view and maybe a way that you're going about doing things. I'm also looking at Judgment here next to the Sun. So we're looking at the Sun and Pluto next to each other. So the way that you may be expressing yourself when it comes to like your public persona. So this can be tied to finances, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It's like the way that you are showing yourself to the world and how you want to be perceived. You may feel like you're getting into a place where you're even reinventing yourself in a way with Pluto next to the Sun, because the Sun is like how you want to showcase who you are, how you want to express yourself, like your authentic self, you at your core. And with Pluto here, it's like the undoing of all of that and the reinvention. I'm also hearing reinvigoration. So yeah, maybe you're recreating something identity-wise, and because you're opening yourself up to a sense of fluidity, there's a sense of understanding more of a purpose when it comes to how you want to express yourself and why you're expressing yourself in that way, and analyzing this too. It's like, how do I want to be received? How do I want to receive information? How do I want to receive the people around me? And what lens am I going to be looking at them through? And what lens am I looking at myself through? And is the way that I'm acting and expressing myself in alignment with how I see myself, how I want to be perceived? This is all about introspection. Yeah, I really am feeling a big energy of reinventing something about it feels like less so in your very intimate personal relationships and more so on like a public platform even. And you may be surprised at what you're finding when you're reflecting too. Like maybe finding things that you didn't expect to find. Yeah, I see you're looking within at yourself here. What you want to be creating as well. It seems like you're completing a lesson too when it comes to opening your arms up to going through big changes for yourself and allowing yourself enough space to discover all of the different elements of yourself and what you want to come from that. It's like what you want to birth into creation from that space. You may be critiquing things within yourself as well. Maybe things you were doing before and where you're trying to go now. This talks about a very big transformation, a very big rebirth. And it feels like you, again, opening your arms to this and allowing this to wash through you is what I'm hearing. It's giving you clarity on like the part of yourself that is now emerging. Yeah, it looks like you're working through some big changes. It feels like each step you're taking brings more clarity to you as well, more even understanding of yourself. And even the direction that you're moving into, the direction that you want to move into, where you're trying to go. Because it seems like there was something that you could have felt impacted by other people, and it feels like you're tuning back into yourself and giving less importance to the opinion of those around you and really prioritizing your inner voice here. And maybe you're actively doing something that's giving you time to reflect as well. It's like you're allotting some time during the day, or like you're taking a break, or it's like in your downtime you're trying to connect with yourself more often, or you're meditating. It's like whatever way this is for you, it's like you're reconnecting with yourself here to understand like who you want to be, how you want to shine, how you want to express yourself, and like what feels most authentic to you when it comes to what you're doing, what you're creating. Feeling more in touch in general. I feel like these themes just keep repeating. But it feels almost like the notion of peeling back layers of yourself to see who's really in there. This can be always connecting with a part of yourself and feeling like you're merging the yin and the yang, and or you may have someone around you that you're close with that's also helping you through this process. It's like somebody that you kind of trust to give you direction. I'm seeing an intimate relationship between you and this person. It's like this can be a best friend, or this can be someone that you really feel like sees you for who you are, and they may be someone that you go to for advice. This is someone that you also feel is very much living in their authentic light as well, and you may have seen them also go through like a lot of transformations too personally within their life. And that may also be something inspiring to you, I'm hearing. I'm looking at Aquarius here. Yeah, this is so beautiful. I feel because you're connecting with yourself and being like, who's really in there and what's authentic to me, and like, how do I want to take a stand in this way, and like, how do I want to shine? It's also helping you connect with someone else, whether this is like an aspect of yourself that's coming together, or you connecting with someone outside of yourself. And it's like, you see this person in their authentic light, and because you're shining authentically too and getting closer to that place where you feel more like yourself, there's a sense of like really developing this intimate connection with someone. I'm looking at the Sun, Pluto, Virgo, Saturn. I'm hearing Sagittarius, Scorpio, and Aquarius. This is also a healing process as well. Yeah, I'm seeing you directly collaborating with someone. I am for sure getting a highlight of Aquarian energy here. So yeah, this is like some type of intimate connection that you have with someone. And that doesn't mean it has to be romantic, although it can be. Like this can be even a co-worker, somebody that you're newly working with even. You could even be getting feedback from this person and it's giving you clarity, and it may also be giving you more direction too with where you're trying to go. I'm seeing this for sure be somebody that you really trust and somebody that you feel definitely a synergetic connection with. Very beautiful. Somebody whose journey you respect, and somebody that you also feel like respects your journey too. All right, Libra, we are going to end it here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.